I have to do it or I have got to do it. What's the difference between have to and have got to? Well, as we already know from my video about have to, need to, must, and should, have to is used when something is necessary or required, when you do not have a choice. Two quick examples. I have to take my daughter to school. I have to wake up early for work. Those aren't things that I want to do. Those are things that I am required to do. I don't have a choice. Okay, so now we remember what have to is for. But what about have got to? Have got to means the same thing. However, have to is more standard. Have got to is a bit more informal. But this difference is very small, and you will hear both of them used all the time in daily conversation. And while the meaning is the same, the situations in which we use them are not 100% the same. Have to can be used in every tense, but have got to cannot be used in every tense. Have got to is only used in present simple tense. So for have to, you can say, I have to, I had to, I will have to, I have been having to, etc. But for have got to, you can only say, have got to. Also, have got to is mostly used for positive statements. It is rarely used to make questions or negative statements. There are people who use have got to make questions and negative statements, and I'm sure that I have done this a few times in my life also. But using have to is much more common. Finally, just be careful, because have got to also has another meaning. This is because get to can be used to talk about opportunities. Here's a present tense example. The president gets to live in the White House. And here's a present perfect example. I have got to visit the White House several times because I'm from Washington, D.C. Here, have got to is not explaining that something is necessary. It's explaining that I had an opportunity or an experience in the past. Most of the time, it will be clear which one you mean. So now, just a quick recap before we finish this video. Have to and have got to mean the same thing when we are talking about something that is necessary or required. Have to is more standard. Have got to is more informal. Have to can be used in all tenses, but have got to can only be used in present simple tense. Have got to can sometimes be used in questions and negative statements, but have to is much more common in these situations. Finally, have got to is also the present perfect form of get to, which is used to talk about opportunities or experiences.